All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, whoever is watching, we are live coming to you from Austin, Texas with my pops. I'm in my pop's house, and he put me on something new tonight. It's called Bill and Tucker. So that's what I'm drinking on tonight. Bill and Tucker. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty cool.
Okay. That's a bourbon, a whiskey. What is that,
This is
sir?
a bourbon whiskey small batch.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Good evening, everybody. CJB here. I'm on this herbal tea tonight. I'm gonna take it a little easy.
Herbal tea face man.
Herbal tea tonight, man.
This your boy Crowley. I'm switching it up
All
tonight.
right, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm drinking. Somebody sharing the stream. Y'all keep going.
My bad.
But this your boy Crowley representing the Jack, taking shots tonight of this tequila.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Good to see everybody. I'm here in Shreveport. I'm drinking a little rum tonight.
Old
Rum and Coke.
nigga.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? You got Old Safe up in DC right now, sipping on some Pasquinet cognac. Ready to talk to y'all tonight.
All right, come through cognac and chill.
Oh,
Teasy baby.
What's up, man? Hey, y'all skip me. It's all good. I changed it up this week. I'm on that Crown Apple, you know. So let's get right to it. Let's go.
Hey, cheers, my bro. Cheers.
Bro, what you say?
Cheers, my bro.
Oh,
Cheers.
what you drinking on? Did you show it? You showed it?
The tequila, baby. Taking shots all night.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We are not going to play around. Tonight, we have some lively topics tonight, but we're going to keep in track with the Black Lives Matter with everything that's going on right now. Talking about systemic racism, the impact of racism, because we sometimes have that confusion that racism is only the interactions that we have with people, that overt racism, that F you nigger and calling the police, so on and so forth. But we don't really
Swift. Ain't no sugarcoating. I know we have people watching, but we being real. So don't sugarcoat the word.
No, I'm getting it out. I'm being, but just being real. Like we had these people call the police officers on us because we black. Karens calling police officers on the park. Police officers arresting us, and like the baby said, shooting us to death and then telling us to freeze, trying to justify killing us. Like we see that overt racism, but we don't see those underlying systemic racism and the impacts of systemic racism. So that's what we're going to jump into first. And my brother, my 10, Jay Ward, put an excellent Facebook post out about systemic racism and the impact of racism. So I want my boy to start. I want my 10 to start us out. What does systemic racism in America look like?
So when you have something like this, it's a multi-layered thing, and I'll go to the post, but I'm not going to read it. But I'll go into and kind of give you a couple highlights from it. So one of the things about systemic racism is poverty, and when you have poverty, it's really hard to get out of poverty. Here's why. And I was talking to a good friend of mine today. He's an alpha. I don't hold that against him. And we were just talking about it's easier for the least qualified poor person to make it out of poverty than one of the most qualified black. Here's why. Because when you live in a poor neighborhood, and this is where I grew up, and it's even by a lot when it's rural, because I'm from Providence, very rural area. Within 5 miles, and most of the time you can stretch it to about 10 miles, there are no high-paying jobs. So that means everybody who wants to get out of that situation, you have to have means to physically leave that neighborhood to go to the high-paying jobs. Most people in poverty don't have a vehicle. So I know a lot of people say, oh, well, we're just going to jump on the bus. It's so hard, especially if you have children or if you're in school and things like that, to pack your books and all that to make it to the bus stop. Wait on the bus, then get off the bus and go. It's so many hurdles that you have to go over. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that when you live in a poor neighborhood, there are always liquor stores around. So it's always telling you, it's almost subliminally saying like, hey, There are no hospitals that you can go to get good health care. Why don't you go get you something to drink? Why don't you go get a lottery ticket? There are check cashing places everywhere. So they put these places in our neighborhoods, and it's taking away from what it is that we have to do. Then also the roads are usually bad, even though a lot of bigger cities have rough roads. But when you get down to a impoverished neighborhood, the roads are terrible. And as a child, you're never seeing your life value. So a lot of times you don't value life, which contributes to that black on black crime that really doesn't exist. But when a kid doesn't value life, his own life, he's more willing to take away somebody else's life because he really don't value life anyway. And then that leads me to the last part about this is the disparity in schools. When you have a poor neighborhood, the school in that neighborhood is almost terrible every time because they get the bottom of the barrel teachers. You have the bottom of the barrel resources. The students from that neighborhood that are exceptional get bused to other neighborhoods, or their parents don't want them to go to the neighborhood. So their test scores can't bring up the overall score of the school because they go to other schools, which I get it because, it's the same thing that happened to me. So usually when there's a kid that's average, not a great athlete, not super smart, no other really noticeable talents, that kid usually falls through the crack, and it's hard for that kid to get out of that situation because people overlook them. And being a teacher and in the public system, I often see if there's a white kid that's poor, usually everybody feels sorry for that white kid, like, oh, his parents are failing him. I wish he can get another, I wish everybody would do better by him. But then you see a black kid in the same situation and you blame it on the child. Like, here come his bad ass and blah, blah, blah. We have to stop doing that. But I can't blame all teachers because those teachers are overworked. They have a bunch of children with undiagnosed mental health issues in their classes, and they are struggling and they're underpaid by a lot to be in a classroom with this many kids, and they're trying to be superheroes and make magic with a little bit of resources. So we have to address the educational system first. If we can address that and stop the racism and the discrimination within the school system, then we can begin to improve those areas of poverty, which can then start to turn the tide for us as a race of people.
And another thing you touched on too, I want to just make a quick point. You said check cashing places. You don't see as many banks, but when you go on every block, you see those payday loans almost on every street in the hood. And people don't realize how those payday loans.
Cash a check. You can't even cash a check. When you cash a check, it's a payment on it. If you go to the ATM in the gas station, it's a $6 fine, $7 fine.
Exactly.
So it's like we don't have enough money as it is, and you taking money from us off the top.
And our people can't go to the bank and get a small business loan, but you can go to the payday loan and get a $500 advance, but you're paying 30-40% interest on top of it. Right. Predatory lending, like Michael Gates said. Somebody else chime in for me. Where do you see the practice of racism or systemic racism and how it impacts either your day-to-day living, your job, hiring, just period?
Go ahead, T.
Now, I was just saying, like, I'm really going through that right now, and I hate to say this on the live, but it is what it is.
Brothers vent too.
Brothers vent, you know what I'm saying? That's just a case of, like, at my job, bro. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much run a multi-million-dollar company, bro, by myself, as far as being the IT. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it moving, keeping it floating or whatever. But on contrary, I make less than what the white counterpart make that did the same job that I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And they'll try to, tidy it up, make it look pretty or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, T will be cool with this because that's T. He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a great guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm professional, and I don't really act out and all that. So they like, oh, he's one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you pay me less than what I know somebody else was making because I'm the IT guy. I know what everybody make at the company, dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another part of it. Like, they'll try to downplay you in the corporate world just because you black. You know what I'm saying? And just like Jay Ward was saying, my girl, she's a teacher, so I already know how they try to label young black kids with what is ADHD.
I was going to touch on that, definitely, yeah.
put all these mental.
Well, they call them a behavior problem. They
Yeah.
label them coming through the door as a behavior problem, and they flag the kids.
Right. And then that's just a chain right into ISS, and then right into the prison system. That's how they do you. So I mean, like I said, that racism, the systematic racism, people think that it had to be in your face. We from Mississippi, we know what it is when it's in your face. You know what I'm saying? But on contrary, behind all that, it's the subtle stuff that you would never know. And that's what really hurt. You be like, dang, I can't believe so-and-so said that on my Facebook this week. Like, I can't believe that person left that comment. And it really just hurtful, dog. I don't know, man.
Two quick comments before we go to Crow. Stephanie Mitchell Gwynn, I'm a supporter of black banking. Put our money with our bank so we can get lending and loans. Absolutely. But how many banks we get in these areas? Rob, impacts of racism is our generation being the first generation to establish generational wealth. Most of us are the ones that had to start with nothing and build the wealth for our family come behind us. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are probably first generation college students, so that's absolutely true. And y'all talked about education. Remember the story in Mississippi where the Secretary of State or someone was stealing all the money from the education system and using it for his own benefit. I'm going to go back and find that story. But talk to me, Crow.
To kind of dig just a little bit deeper on the mental illness side, or the mental health side of it. What a lot of people forget that young men get labeled a behavior issue because they're active. We are active. If you go back to you being as a little kid, you always wanted to go outside, move around, bounce around. And then I honestly like to call ADHD is absent dad, absent husband syndrome, because a lot of these homes are missing that structure, and that also not taking nothing away from black moms or moms who are raising men, but at the same time, without that dad, that husband there, that father figure, that's causing a lot of trauma. He's seeing behavior from others and not seeing it within the home, so he's learning but not really learning. That comes from the system being able to take the father away from the home by saying, hey, moms, here's HUD housing. You only have to pay $100 in rent, in which then that money takes away from the tax-paying money, which will go towards the education system in your schooling, because whoever that homeowner is probably staying in a different county than you, so they're not staying in that county, so that money that their HUD is paying them is really leaving the county. So you paying $100 in that HUD home with no father there. On top of that, there's other boundaries put in place to keep the male away. Let's say if he's behind on child support, then you probably hollering you can't come see your child, or it might be stipulations within the paperwork. But whole nother thing, we're talking about racism. Now, the schooling, it comes down to politics and voting, because their money distribution and that taxpaying money, if you have a whole lot of renters in the hood, as we would call it, or in the urban areas per se, that money is leaving. It's going towards the people who own that home, which more than likely don't stay in that county you're living in, or that city you're living in. And so they're funding it to their county, their city, because they're spending that extra income, their residual income that's coming into their household, in their county, in their city, and you're steady lacking because it's rent. You're a renter, and you're not being a buyer, a consumer, which is a homeowner.
Right.
Again, like I said, politics is not. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's touch on that politics. I'm gonna get to these comments because you touched on HUD and the politics, and I just found a story. Well, Michael Gates said it's hard to move up in the corporate world, mostly due to the fact a white man ain't gonna want to look up to a black man as superior. Rob Wall, white collar criminals not being labeled as thugs, stealing millions of dollars. Criminal justice system treats black and white criminals differently. Absolutely. And I just found a story. Mississippi State Auditor said Thursday that investigators believe at least $4 million in federal welfare money was stolen by the former head of state welfare agency and others in the nation's poorest state.
Swift,
$4 million.
let me interject. So, I worked with the youth for a moment. So
Mhm.
within the court, and I'm kind of reading the comments or what have you.
Mhm.
And I was working with our youth, African American Black men.
Mhm.
So we go before the judge, and before our case, it's a white teenager, about the same age as my teenager that I'm with. This young man steals a car, causes some damage. I think they found some substance on him, can't remember. Judge told this man to write a letter of apology. What else he told him? Letter of apology. Basically,
Let him
buddy
out.
get off scot free.
Right.
My guy come up before him. My guy gets 60 days in the youth detention center. On top of that, he was reprimanded to seek therapy counseling and some more stuff. Like the fellow counterpart didn't, and we were outraged leaving out, but at the same time, I told him, I hate to say it, this is what they built for us.
Who was the judge?
I'm still within the system, so
Okay.
with that being said, definitely, the moral of that story is we have to watch and work a little harder to stay out because our sentences are different. No matter what, we're going to be judged because we are Black men.
And to that point, I'm gonna go to OC after this. I saw a story or a tweet about the protest in Minneapolis. Three protesters, two was white and one was black. They both got arrested for protest charges. The white guy bond was like 100. Another guy bond was like $300. But the black dude bond, all three had the same charge. His bond was like 500 or 800 something dollars, and they all had the same charge. You can guess what color the white guy, the judge was. Oh, say.
Yeah, I'll just be quick, just a couple points. I know y'all kind of touched on it, but I think one big racism impact definitely comes when you look into housing. Like we've been struggling with that from forever. Even when we had money back in the 60s to buy a home, you couldn't buy it where you want to.
Of course, red
Now,
line. Yeah.
Now we're getting into the point where we're getting more money, we're getting more cash, we're getting more things, and we still can't buy a home where we want to or where we used to want to 10 years ago because now we're priced out of our own communities at this point. And we all know if you look at any wealthy people, anybody's wealthy, it comes down to a lot of ownership of property. And if we are already boxed out of that piece, we won't really be able to obtain certain type of wealth that white people or other races are because we don't have access to those resources. So they just try to find a new way for you not to get into that space. So the same housing issues we're having had 40, 50 years ago still exist. They just cover it up more in terms of how they land, gentrification and other pieces of things. So that's a real big thing. I see it big in DC where the communities that were all black, none but white people jogging around and the stuff is like $500,000 for like a 2-bedroom where it was all black just 10 years ago. So I know Jay Ward's been out for a minute. I gotta let him jump back.
But then they just build a housing area by Howard that's mostly going to white people.
Whatever area really is. I mean, they literally had I think you probably heard like last year, it's a lot of white people and they were walking their dogs on Howard's campus and actually had an issue with the students raising that as a point and kind of making it so like, hey, this is my neighborhood. Why can't I walk my dog in my neighborhood and do what I want?
Now, let me ask you guys this from this standpoint, because at the same time, and I'm thinking about it, when they drop that Panera bread or that Starbucks in your neighborhood, that's growth. We look at it as growth, like, oh man, we getting this, we getting Walmart, we getting this, whatever it is. But at the same time, as they bring these new businesses in, as Osei said, is now driving the price up. And so growth is great, but at the same time, it's hindrance because we don't have the funds or the wealth or the financial backing to be able to sustain
staying in the area.
To where where we at. So then again, that goes back to teaching, teaching wealth, teaching that and teaching that within the school system, or teaching at home, and having the resources to teach our youth that now. We gotta also preach, or either more so push, yeah, that's what I'm going for, push where we want our curriculum to go for our education school system. That's one thing we haven't touched on as a Black community. We have yet to say we want such and such to change their curriculum in the way that they're teaching our Black kids. Nobody has touched on curriculum based education from grade level all the way up to high school level. That has to change too, because if we're constantly teaching that same educational way, it's the same slavery mentality. I'm just being honest.
And to that point, I'm gonna let Jay Ward go ahead and close us out with education. I see a lot of people talk about HBCUs and learning your Black history and everything, but from what I remember and from what I've been seeing and experiencing and working in higher education, especially these Black HBCUs as public institutions, Black history is not built into the curriculum as a required course. So I don't know where that comes from. That's just me personal from what I've been seeing. Students, you have general education classes that's required. Black history is not one of them.
We got to push the curriculum. We got to push change for the curriculum. We pushing it on
Go ahead, Jay Ward. Close out.
And it's being mistaught when it is. I just want to say this, and I know some of this was touched on in the previous 2 episodes, but to the white allies, help us with hiring people. Don't tell us how to feel about oppression because you have not been oppressed. So don't say, well, rioting is not the way, looting is not the way. We don't need you for that. You can't tell us how to feel on that. Help convince your people, your friends that are in hiring positions to hire African American people at the top. They are the gatekeepers. If you just let us in on that part of it, we got it from there. So stop trying to apologize to your racist ass friends. If they have a problem with you saying that I am an ally for Black people, I ain't gonna even say Black Lives Matter because that's a whole different thing. That's a hashtag. But I'm just for equality for people. If they have a problem with what you're saying, then they are on the wrong side of this shit and they are racist. Simple as that. I also want to say that healthcare is very important. I grew up on Medicaid, so I thought the doctor was free because we had Medicaid when I was a kid. And then once I turned 18, I was like, oh wait, I got to pay for what? Excuse me. So a lot of people neglect their health in our community because they don't have health insurance and they don't know how to get it. And I didn't know how to get it when I was in college. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Let me say this also. I think teachers and police officers should be paid more. Here's why. A police officer, a lot of times, is like a teacher on their last leg at the end of the damn day. I can't give you all I got because I'm worn out, because I'm overworked and I'm underpaid. But if they made more money, that means you can increase the qualifications to become a police officer. Man, you know how long it takes to become a certified teacher? Damn near long as it takes to be a doctor. But you can become a police officer in several months. So it's like if you increase the pay, then more people would apply for the job, but you would have to go through more qualifications and trainings. Plus, if you knew that you were making an adequate salary and you don't have to go be a security guard at night, then you would be more lenient, I believe, towards seeing what's really going on until I'm putting you in the back of the car. I'm putting you in the back of the car because not only do they systematically kill Black people, they arrest a lot of Black people as well. And a lot of it comes from being tired and being underpaid and overworked. It's the same thing with a teacher. I can't give your child this extra mile because I don't have the extra mile in me, and I need to be able to go home to my own children who I got to go home and do homework with. So, I know it's like, I see you guys looking and it's like, wait a minute. Understand this. With a police officer, a lot of times it's a blink of an eye decision. Okay. And when you have been working 15, 16 hours and you shouldn't have been working that long, but the police staff is short, you're going to make mistakes. They shouldn't be deadly mistakes and cost people lives, but make the qualifications more strenuous so that they can go through proper training to hold people's lives in their hand. They don't even understand the law a lot of the times, but they have an issue to kill people. They have a license to kill people. So if you make it more difficult for them to become police officers and increase the qualifications on these things, then they would be, you'll have better people in the streets instead of people who are like, oh well, shit, I can't do nothing else. I can go be a police officer. So I think, and let me finish and then I'll talk to y'all about that.
God damn, bro.
What?
No,
I'm almost done.
Man, we got a whole.
I'm about to hit on what Ocean said. I'm hitting on what Ocean said. Like y'all was saying about the land, as long as people have property, give us our reparations, and then we would have property as well to be able to we'll be able to jump in on those conversations as well, and we'll be able to use our land as leverage. Also, what Crowley was saying, the reason why Panera Bread and all that shit runs up the prices is because we don't own the company. So at least hire us in management positions in those companies so that we can work towards ownership ourselves. And the last thing, and Crowley was saying this.
He said like
Jay Ward, I got this. Jay Ward, my nigga, we got a whole hour or so, bro. You gonna be able to hit everything you need to hit, bro.
So, Crow, you get 15, 20. Do you even want to talk?
Hey, I just want to. I just want to say this much. Jay Ward, I train law enforcement officers, and it's deeper than what you were saying. I definitely will commend a lot of great officers out there, but we'll touch on that subject a whole different level. But you were definitely being.
Yeah, they ain't it, boss, man. Y'all, they ain't it, boss, man. Look, man, this pilots flying planes for like 15 hours straight. They ain't just crashing it. Like it don't work like that.
We're gonna move on.
But Crowley, in mental health, you're underpaid as well. So there might be one kid that you didn't have the energy to get to because you're overworked and underpaid. And what if that kid goes to commit suicide?
Yeah, I think
you see what I'm saying? Because you're underpaid and you can't give your all because you're not being paid the wage that you should be paid in mental health because they too are underpaid.
So
let me rebuttal real fast, please.
Nope. I'm closing out with this. Teachers, I think we all can agree, teachers should be paid more. Period, point blank. When it comes to police officers, the money should be allocated to the police officer and not to military gear and all this other stuff. So police officers technically could be paid more, just how the money is budgeted and allocated. Period, point blank. But that's not.
I agree.
We could talk about that another time. We could talk about allocation of funds and everything else another time. Also, I'm gonna switch out in a second and bring in E. But this next topic, going from something heavy, because that was about to go for about 30, 45 minutes. I saw it happening. Bringing baggage into a relationship. And Core, I'm gonna start with you because you. I'm gonna start with E, then go to you, Core, because I got to switch out and bring E in. He just McDonald's fries right now. But bringing baggage into the relationship.
Bring baggage in from that last topic into this topic.
That last situationship, that last whatever you want to call it, into that next relationship. We are going to vent about this because we've been seeing it all on social media. We've been seeing it on Instagram, Twitter, so on and so forth. Where people jump in relationships when they shouldn't. Are they ready? Period. So, okay, what you got to say real quick?
This guy, I'm letting get these vocals off real quick, man. Hey, look, it's a lot of people bringing in baggage into relationships. It's a lot of people bringing in baggage and just the dating and just the people they talk to. Like, some of y'all got to heal like that up. Like, I don't know if it's a mental health issue that you need to check yourself in, get therapy. I don't know if it's accountability, but I think anytime someone gets out of a situation, instead of being in that period where they're like, yo, I'm lonely, I want to get back in these streets, I want to get back into it, they need a period of self-evaluation. You want to look at what went wrong, where you came from. You want to look at the big thing that people don't do is, what was my role in this last relationship ending? I don't think anyone does it. It's always yeah, they did this and this is where we are, but what is your role in it? I know like a lot of y'all watched The Insecure and y'all saw that little cute ass episode that they had where they was just both were saying I did this wrong, but it's usually not like that. It's usually this person did this wrong. I put 100% in and it didn't work. And so now you're coming in and the next person you're going to is already at a handicap. They're already trying to fight to get somewhere that they shouldn't be starting.
Right.
So like if you're bringing in baggage into a relationship, it's probably, to me, seems like you probably didn't do the proper self-evaluation of yourself and where you ended.
Appreciate that, brother. We're gonna bring it back in for the next topic.
Yep.
All right, my brother, my E.
You gonna miss your bus.
What up?
What up, E?
Man, I ain't ate all day, bro.
Put the eat, drinking on, and talk to me.
What up, E?
All right. Greetings, brothers.
Look at E eating chicken wings and shit.
Eating French fries from McDonald's.
All right,
2020.
first of all, I want first things first. Jay Ward is all lives matter. I can't fuck with it. Number two, Jay
I'm
Ward,
definitely not. I'm definitely not.
He come in with it.
Right?
Bruh, that nigga Jay Ward camping so hard.
E. Okay, so
But anyway, all
Go.
right, back to the relationship, right? I agree with what Osei was saying, bro. Like when you break up, if you in a serious relationship, y'all break it off or whatever, both parties, male and female, need to take about 6 months to get their mind right before they want to try it again. Because at the same time, you got to think about like what you probably gave up to get in their relationship. You let go of all your old friends and friends with benefits, right? So you basically kind of like dedicating your life to somebody if y'all dating exclusively, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta get back in the waters, you know what I'm saying? To kind of assess yourself. That's how you're gonna find out. Oh, excuse me. That's how you're gonna find out like what you really want moving forward. You know what I'm saying? For both of them. Because like you might have noticed something in their relationship that you thought you wanted, but you didn't really like it once it got applied.
mm-hmm.
So now you have to, again, like you have to self-evaluate yourself. Like, well, that ain't work out for me in this relationship. Do I still want to try it again? But you can't. But I think the opening thing that everybody needs to do is manage your expectations.
So hold on, because y'all being very general right now.
They really are. I've been sitting here
Like
going,
he playing.
Have y'all ever experienced?
Let's talk.
From experience.
Let's talk
Have
about
y'all
it.
ever experienced a
My
relationship?
thing is, bro, I told y'all, number one thing for me,
Listen.
I can't stand no bitching, bro. I can't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with it, bro.
we talking about baggage, my nigga, not bitching. Go ahead, Corey.
Begging and bitching, that's the same thing. If you bitch in the last relationship,
So,
and you
have
brought
y'all
in this
ever
one,
experienced?
this gonna make it better?
E, be quiet. Have y'all ever?
E right. I'm with you, E.
Thank you.
Have y'all ever experienced a relationship where the other person brought in issues, problems, baggage from that situation?
Oh,
Hell yeah.
oh, like yeah,
Yes.
through your phone and shit.
Yes.
That's a
You
no.
let E
That's my
start
privacy.
this shit off.
Before, right, I had to bring it back in. So before E and Crow go, Corey, what you got to say?
I've been a part of it from both angles. I've been in a relationship where baggage was brought in, and I've been in a relationship where I brought in the baggage. So, but I will say that I did it at a younger age. I didn't really know what I wanted, but it's no excuse for it, but it's the truth. But one thing I did learn about that whole situation was I had to take a step back and realize that I needed to, I guess, cleanse myself of what I had going on in the past before I can move on with somebody in the future.
Right.
And it's like it's like when you deal with somebody that bring in baggage, it's like that person is going to like make you pay for something the previous person did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to take the time you need to heal so you won't bring whatever happened. But anything that happened in your old relationship should not be brought into your new relationship because it wouldn't be successful.
So how did you handle that, Corey? How did you handle someone bringing in baggage to a relationship?
I had to end the relationship. Like I'm like we talked about it. I'm like, look, I understand what happened. That ain't my fault. I'm not gonna be penalized for it.
Right.
And if you can't get past it, I respect the fact that you can't get past that and you got some stuff you got to deal with. But I don't have to sit there and watch you deal with it. I don't have to wait on you to get over that. So I had to excuse myself from that relationship.
Go ahead, Crow. I see you.
All
on
right. Let's
You
talk about this baggage. This baggage shit runs deep. See, y'all just talking about leaving relationships, and let's talk about it on both ends, men and women in. You got people who bringing baggage in from childhood and shit, and that's where the dad and mama issues and all of that they still have not seek or talked really and truly came honest to themselves about, because either they waiting on an apology from uncle, auntie, mama, daddy. Even I had to go through that shit with some shit with my daddy that I carried all the way up to my grown ass, which I was pushing up on others. It's like being real. Now, once you get past that family shit, then you start going into that dating shit where you hit middle school, you first get your feelings hurt and all that type of stuff. And then you pop your little cherry in high school if you start having sex and you got to deal with them little emotions and all that. So that's you ain't, because think about it. A lot of people ain't got past that moment in their life on some serious shit because they still harboring shit from high school. Let's be real. They see motherfuckers from high school and they feeling some emotional way about that shit.
They all got to do to get on Facebook now. They high school crush probably fat as fuck now.
But I'm saying, so once
it doesn't make them unattractive, B.
Then that deals with and so you talking about some intricate shit as far as baggage. You got a book bag full of different books that have not been truly read through yet, that haven't been opened yet inside this book bag. You just thinking this just a book bag with one book in there? Nah, that book bag got damn near 7 books, and she hiding shit from your ass, and he hiding shit from your ass that they have yet to work out. Please believe somebody not gonna tell you everything that's in them books. And that goes for marriage couples, unless they just being real with each other. Because somebody ain't told somebody that they had an abortion along the way. Somebody ain't I'm just being real. Y'all, I'm just being real. And they hiding it and they love her wondering why. I'm just touching on some real ass shit.
Hey, that's
hold on.
My bad. I got
to see.
Yeah, I want it. You going there?
Go ahead, Will.
Rob Walsh. Your lady brings into the relationship, Paul Phillips, Jay Ward.
Damn, Crowley.
Shit, I wasn't done.
I got you, Pro. I got you. Look, let's talk about it though. Crowley, he hinted on it, but I really want to just take y'all back to this. We talking about relationships, baggage, and all that, bro. A lot of these people have daddy issues, mama issues, bro. We really have to talk about that, man, because I promise, I had an argument with a woman in like probably the 2nd month of our relationship, and she was going off on me, bro. I was like, damn, did I do this, or are you just channeling some inner emotions, man? You know what I'm saying? And it could have been a dude that she was messing with before me, but you know, a lot of that go back to how you were raised in your household, how your daddy treated your mama, or if your daddy was around, or if your mama was around, because some mothers are toxic too. We always blame the daddy, but you know what I'm saying? Some mamas teach the wrong things to their daughter or to their son. You know what I'm saying? So we really gotta touch on that, man. It's super crazy that people cannot come to truth with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know exactly who I am. I know why I act the way I act. I know why I move the way that I move. But some people do not understand. Some people do not get that. Some people cannot self-reflect, because sometimes you have an argument. It does not have nothing to do with the person that you're arguing with. You really arguing with yourself because of how you feel internally, man.
And T, a lot of people got scorn relationships with their siblings too that they pass on with on their other relationships. You know, you ask a simple question about their family and it's passed on to you. You get that wrath, something that they haven't worked out.
T, chill out.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Swift. Go ahead, Swift. I'm done.
So I'm gonna go to a few comments. Let me go to a few comments.
Okay.
Let me go to a few comments.
Damn.
Listen,
Why you get the playing field?
Rob said, talk about the mamas. Zay Naylor said, one of my boys just turned 18, and he told me he got 25 bodies. But listen, back in the day, men 15, 14, 15, 16, 17 was having sex with older women, 25, 30 years old. So when they get to a relationship stage, they really don't know anything else other than what they've been taught and what they've experienced.
My high school was one of the first high schools that hit the news system with the teacher having sex with the student.
Then that's rape too. Like for the record,
Yeah,
that's rape.
that's serious. The basketball team, like seriously.
And we talked about that in one of the shows. I can't remember which one, but we've seen that, we've experienced that having sex with other people, older people, but I'm not gonna put that myself out there. Jay Ward,
Talk about that, right?
we ain't gonna talk about it. Go ahead, Jay Ward.
All right.
You got 5 minutes, bro.
So
3.
I don't need that long.
Go ahead.
Baggage comes from a lack of trust a lot of times. Usually when somebody's baggage, when that comes into play, is from a lack of trust because of the previous relationship brought some sort of hurt or trauma to them. But I think we should communicate what triggers your baggage, the things that are triggers to you. And I know a lot of people, because you want to talk about what's your favorite movie or, you know, your career goals, but you don't talk about, you know, trauma and things that you need to heal and what are some triggers for you. I found out recently, I was watching a movie and there was a rape in the movie and I couldn't watch it. I was like, I've realized now that this is a trigger for me. I can't really watch a rape in a movie. So this is a trigger for me. So I think you should communicate what your triggers are and what your baggage is. Think about this. When you're dating someone with some baggage, if that person is worth it, then love them through the baggage. If you think that person is worth it, then love them through that baggage until they can heal and help them. You be the person to help them heal from that baggage if you think the person is worth it. If you don't, then leave them alone. What you wasting their time for and waste your time for, leave them alone. If you don't think their baggage is worth helping them heal, then, you know, go for it. Another point that I wanted to make, some people may not be aware that they even have baggage. Some people may think they're absolutely ready to go into another relationship and got a whole bunch of baggage and don't know it yet. And so they don't know that they have baggage in this particular area until they've gone through that situation. So, and like Crow said, childhood trauma. And then I just want to say a lot of people take high school stuff a little bit too serious, but you can't. Some people really were in serious relationships when they were in high school. Other people, y'all were just messing around. Don't let that be something that's more of an excuse and not baggage. You're leaning on the fact that your high school crush kissed somebody else. That's not baggage. That's you making an excuse for something. So I think, you know, not to dismiss anyone, but, you know,
Jay Ward,
that stuff don't.
Jay Ward, a lot of people were having sex in high school. Let's be real. And that's soul ties. So those are emotions that's connected, G. Some people ain't worked through that because they didn't have an understanding mentally what the hell and emotionally what they were doing.
Right.
So it's not.
And they may not even know that it was that type of connection that deep.
Right.
Hey, Mike Gates, read his comments, Swift, because that's the proof.
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. Read a few.
I don't believe in that soul tie shit.
Quinn, when I was young,
no, that's okay.
Like
we can't talk about that. That's real.
No comment. When I was younger, I didn't date men like my dad, but I married one like my dad. Okay. Zay Naylor, therapy. I agree. If you can go see a therapist about your issues, please go. I'm pretty sure most jobs do.
Black therapists.
Black therapists, or if you can't find a black therapist, you have therapy, please. Michael Gates, y'all keep talking about bringing baggage from past relationships. Hell, these women don't let go of baggage they acquire in the current relationship.
Because they don't know how to
give.
They didn't get rid. Think about it, twin. They don't even I'm gonna say men too. We have not learned those skills to even open that book up or even acknowledge that baggage. That's why. That's why you think they gonna get rid of something that you did in this relationship, and they still harboring shit from past relationship. It's because this is not. They don't even know how to.
Before you go, Corey, which brings me to the last comment, Rosanna Hawkins. Communication is so important. Some of us get PTSD from past relationships. Be able to listen, communicate, and understand. I think that all of that is important. Listen, communicate, and understand. Go ahead, Corey.
Hold on, Rosanna, hold on. Rosanna, I'm not trying to understand that stuff that y'all be talking if it don't make no sense. I ain't trying to hear that.
But T, a lot of people haven't
the skill that you need.
I'm just playing, man.
A lot of these women and men have not seen healthy relationships, so they don't know how to listen. They don't know how to properly communicate, and they don't know how to comprehend to understand. Let's be real. So we asking people to do stuff that they have not learned yet. It has not been taught. They thought they were taught in those toxic relationships they seen, but it wasn't.
So listen, the skill that you need to get out, in most cases, not all, but most, to get out of baggage or to move on from baggage is accountability. That's one word that we are not talking about. You knew that this niggas was toxic, or this woman was toxic before you laid down with her, before you spent money on her. Drove your car. You knew the signs were there, bro. In most cases, the signs are there. You knew what the fuck was up, and you chose to keep going.
Corey don't know about the honeymoon phase. That's a true phase. That's real, G.
Before you go, bro, I believe you ask your issues, and sometimes men or women to sleep with a man of the opposite, same sex, whatever, within a few days or weeks. So you don't know the issues that they have before you lay down with them.
Nah, bro. You saw fam out here, ain't got no job, ain't got no car. You picking them up.
So Corey, you ain't never have you ever had a one night stand?
Say what? That's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. Listen, that's neither here nor there.
You said before you lay down. It's one night stands happen all the time. You don't be knowing.
Listen, that's not the same though. Like
one night stand, it's called the honeymoon phase. Every relationship kind of has that moment where they ain't letting the other person know really. It's a whole bunch of sugar and flowers and cake and candy per se. Quote unquote. I use that. It's a lot of fluff. Everybody want to take everybody out to eat. Everybody want to be nice and do all this. Ain't nobody. You ain't getting to the nitty gritty of a real relationship until you bust about that year and 6 months phase. G, I'm just being real.
No, the relationship don't get toxic until you get that "what are we" text. When that question come up, I said when the "what are we" question comes up,
that's because you just randomly smashing, E. Now, if you really putting in time, you don't have to. You ain't gonna never see that "what are we" text, G.
So let me ask you this though, right? Don't you have to put in some type of time to keep hitting some ass?
Not really.
What?
I said, don't you have to put in some type of time? I ain't talking about like going out on dates. You gotta at least be kicking it with, don't you?
Not really.
Depends on
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, man.
You show you love
a relationship, bro.
You show you love
a relationship, but not exclusively dating.
E, are you sure you love him?
Yes.
Okay, you should know then. You ain't got to put in no time to have sex with somebody. Come on now. Let's be real. Jay Ward, you quiet.
First of all, I respect women, so you know what I'm saying.
I'm watching. I'm listening.
Jay Ward, you quiet.
I'm listening to a lot of this, and it's actually I agree with what Corey's saying, but like I said a couple weeks ago, a lot of times you can tell the toxicity of a woman instantly. So usually you avoid those people unless you're willing to play at your own risk.
Listen,
I also said the ones who were in the beginning.
Fake news.
I also said the ones that are instantly that they are toxic, and we tend to stay away from them unless you're willing to roll the dice and say, look, it's worth it. It's
Okay. So we gonna move on.
You can't tell they toxic.
Yeah, let's move on, bro.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We didn't beat this one down.
Take
Any final thoughts before we move to our next topic? Final thoughts.
Birds of a feather fuck together.
Hey, I just say this, everybody, honesty, be honest, like Corey said, accountability, be honest with yourself, be true to yourself, be willing to do some self-examination and learn where your flaws are, and then go from there.
Good point. So moving on, we do have those situations where we get with someone, it either works out or it doesn't. Now y'all broke up, y'all exes. And I'm gonna keep this one straight, short, and to the point. And I'm gonna bring Osei back in. I don't know if T want to talk on this topic. Have y'all ever had a situation where y'all broke up with your ex and y'all remain platonic friends? We're making it a general question. Can you be platonic friends with your ex?
What y'all laughing for, man? Hey, man, I'm gonna let Osei come on in, bro.
All right.
Hey.
All right.
I got a question. Serious question.
Mm-hmm.
So by platonic, right? You mean like no
sex.
No sex, nigga, no sex.
Okay.
Lim.
Does head count?
Nigga, that's sex.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. What are you talking?
Listen, bro. Because you can get sucked up, leave, and that'll be it. You know what
Nigga,
I'm saying?
that is
and y'all
sex.
can still be cool.
That's
like
oral sex, nigga. Oral.
Okay,
Penetration of the mouth, nigga.
He muted. So to everybody else, because he get muted. Can you be platonic friends? No sex, no oral sex, no any type of sex, anal sex. I don't know if you into that. No sex whatsoever, no kissing, just platonic friends, conversation.
No type of stimulation.
No stimulation whatsoever. You a platonic friend with your ex. You might be in another relationship, period. Can you be platonic friends with your ex? And also, you just stepped in, so I'm going to start with you.
I bet. So if they was like my ex in high school, hell yeah, like that shit don't count. So if it's but if it's like honestly, if I had sex with this ex, like that's high school shit. Sometimes you go together 2 months, that shit don't count. But like if you in some real shit and you done had sex with this person and did all these things with this person, then I think it's highly impossible to be platonic friends with that person, except under the condition that after y'all became friends, y'all won platonic and then y'all got all fucked out and y'all ain't want to fuck no more. And then at that point, y'all can end up being platonic because all that shit's out the window. Because like people who normally break up, if they still in contact, they don't jump right into this platonic phase. You still doing some of the same shit you was doing when y'all was together. But you got your finger up. I know you about to jump in, but I feel like that's one of the things that can never happen. And two, if you actually feel like you possibly could be platonic with someone, if you're dealing with someone else, that person is probably not going to even allow that situation to happen. So it's either by you not being able to fuck that stop fucking that person, or someone putting a barrier where you shouldn't be talking to that person to even have a platonic relationship.
I'm about to tell you where it all goes, Osei. You ready?
Yeah.
Accountability. At the end of the day, if you with somebody or that person with somebody and they true to that person and they done work past whatever emotions they had for your black ass and you done have for their black ass, when y'all see each other, it's a hey, how you doing? What have you been up to? It's truly no other conversation but that foundation of a friendship type style conversation. That's accountability of holding yourself to not cross that level. You know what I'm saying? You can sugarcoat it all day long with if you see this person and all this. Nah, it's about accountability and it ain't even about your spouse setting up boundaries. Because honestly, you give a nigga time to pee, they got time to fuck. I'm sorry. I'm just being real.
What?
If a nigga
That's some of the Jewish shit I ever heard.
that's just being real.
But Crowley, if I'm hearing you right,
I'm just being real. So a boundary that your old lady setting up or a boundary that your old man setting up, it's so many motherfuckers sneaking off all day long. No, it's about accountability to yourself and to that relationship, G.
So if I'm hearing you right, Crow, you agree with NECA. She's saying maybe friendly, but not friends.
Yeah, it's friendly. It's more so friendly. Now, like Osei said, like if you kind of had a it got to be a deep foundation. You know what I'm saying? To whereas you all have worked past it, and Joe still call you on the phone because y'all grew up together, and yeah, y'all dated back in high school, tried that one time, but through college, y'all just remain friends. Y'all didn't even go to the same, whatever it may be. It still can exist that platonic friendship.
So is that even a friend? Is that even a friend or just somebody you cool with?
There's somebody you cool with, and we're gonna go back. We're gonna come back to it. I'm gonna go to the comments.
I think it depends on like how the
All right.
relationship started.
Hold on, let me go to the comments real quick. Quinn said, "No, the combo always goes back to the past." Michael Gates, the question is whether your partner will allow you to be platonic friends. That's a good question. Frank Sutton, it does, but when you're into other stuff like sports and video games, yes. Okay. Shanika, but I agree you can be friends with exes. And say, are you talking be friends or cordial? Because that's different. I'm talking friends, like you can actually go out to eat, or you can do
You
activity.
can. You
Right.
remove
This
those
person is your ex.
Nah, bro.
Nah.
Friendship.
Nah,
All right. Can I go?
Depends. Like it depends. Like
Okay.
if you
That's a
involved
date,
with somebody,
Can I go?
nah, that's a no go. Nah, it's disrespectful.
No, I ain't saying go, but
Platonic friends, having a platonic friend is disrespectful to the person you're talking to currently?
No, you just said
Listen,
with your ex
if
and going out to
Hold on. Let me go ahead, CJB.
it's like okay, if somebody like OC said, there's levels to it, so I agree with OC. So it depends on how long you've been with this person. There's somebody that you've been right, you was rocking with this person for one point in time over a year or so, and y'all share a lot of stuff together. That person will always have a place in your heart. But once you move on and date somebody else and y'all get serious, you can't go to dinner with that person, your ex-girlfriend. That ain't cool. It's disrespectful. You don't need no more closure after that.
Gotcha.
Now, you be cordial and speak and all that, yeah, of course, but like constant communication and talking and all that, nah, you can't do that. It ain't cool. And it's like, how can y'all say that that's cool? Would you be cool? Say, for instance, your old lady, right? And she'll be like, okay, I want to go meet up with my ex-boyfriend for dinner. You really gonna be cool with that? You ain't gonna be cool with that shit. You're not gonna like it.
Real
That's just being real.
quick, E, then J Ward.
it
So,
depends on the
take a
trust
step back.
level too.
I think it goes back to like how the relationship start off. Like, say for instance, y'all start off as just being cool friends and shit first, and then y'all grow into a relationship. Like that kind of makes it complicated. Them those type of situations you gotta stay away from, because it's like you trying to balance your loyalty between like, okay, yeah, you was my friend first before you was my old lady, then that didn't work out. I got somebody else now. I can't cross the lines in between. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm just not building this relationship. That's just a no-fly zone, bro. Because like the worst thing you can do is piss a black woman off with another female. Trust me.
True, but
It
make
don't work
sure
out.
we are all on the same page. We're
And
talking.
I have no beef with like no previous exes that I know of. But like, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, like you have to set them boundaries, even though I'm still cool with them. You know what I'm saying? If I see him, like, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, you got like, hey, this my relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can't be hit, even though we cool. Don't be hitting my line, bro. Nah.
Go ahead,
You can't have that because it's gonna create too many problems, you know what I'm saying? Unnecessary headaches. You feel me? But in the same instance, you have to take that, you have to look at it from their perspective too. Because just like what Corey said, imagine you and your old lady chilling, and then you see it's a nigga FaceTime her. You gonna be like, who the fuck this is? Right? Then next thing you know, you
Without a
gonna be
doubt.
surprised.
Like,
Who
who
the
the
But
fuck
fuck is
is
this?
this?
if that's her
You gonna be
friend,
salty as hell
you
and
can
ready to
know who
fight.
that
So
dude is.
that's a no-go, bro.
If it's a friend, I'm gonna know who it is. I should know who the friend
That's
is.
what I'm saying. If
Exactly,
that's
because
her
if
friend, you should
y'all
know
really
who that
friends,
is.
they really friends,
Got you.
you involved with her, you gonna see this person. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see how involved they are with this ex person or whoever. If it's ex, I don't give a fuck if they was there before me, whatever. If I ain't cool with none of my exes, you don't need to be cool with your exes. Point blank, period. Keep everybody honest. Leave it at that, bro.
All right. Let's
Hey,
go.
you really got it.
Hold on, Crow. Hold on, Crow. Let's go, Jay Ward.
What you say? What you say, Crow?
All right, so
You
so let
taking
me ask
notes,
you this.
man?
One of the things that you have, I always take notes. You gotta have notes.
That nigga swear
Skip. I got my notes. Skip. Does the ex know about your friendship with this other person? If you feel like your current person, your current relationship cannot know about your friendship with your ex, then more than likely that friendship is out of bounds. If you feel like you can't tell that person that me and such still talk and converse and all that, then more than likely that relationship is out of bounds. All right. So are you keeping this a secret or not? If you're keeping it a secret, then it's probably because you know that it's not legit. I feel like, to answer the question, I don't think it's appropriate to have an ex that's a friend unless the ex is willing to hang out with the current person that you're dating.
Fuck no, baby.
If your ex if your ex can't come around you, if your ex and the person that he or she is dating can't come around you and the person that you're dating, then y'all still got some other feelings that y'all got going
The nigga
on,
will
and you
still take a
probably should work
shot with
those.
you right there, my nigga. I'm sorry. A nigga will still take a
Absolutely,
shot with you right
absolutely, he will.
You ain't never
He
been a black
absolutely
woman that know how
will.
to
But
fight.
I'm just saying. Also, think about this. Don't discuss your current relationship with your ex. I know you need opinions from people of the opposite sex, but don't get it from your ex, because that person is going to always have a biased opinion because they know different things about you and all of that. So they're going to always try to come from an angle most of the time. Was it someone that you was just smashing or an actual relationship? Because that's something different as well. Like, if you were in an actual relationship with this person, then it's going to be really hard to be a platonic friend with this person. Like Crowley was saying, people, usually men, have motives. When we want to be back friends with a person, usually it's because we see an inkling into being back in the bed with that person. So usually, and that's just being real, you feel like it's an area where I might can get back in, so you try to exploit that particular area. So I think, you have to be. I mean, you didn't say that exactly, but you were mentioning that, men always have things. But I say, if you're single, then go for it. You can be friends with that ex, and think about how you and that person met. Y'all may have been friends before you started your relationship. You may have been friends before you started smashing. Also, 2 more points. This is more of a cultural thing, because in white cultures, they hang out with everybody, exes, people that they used to smash, all that type of stuff. They all just become one conglomerate of friends. So that's more of a black thing that we probably have more so of a problem with. Also, think about this. If there's a child involved, hell yes, you need to be friends with your ex, because y'all have a child together. And you need to be on the same page. Y'all may not need to talk every day. But you need to be able to be cordial with that person and have a good relationship and talk to that person outside of your current relationship.
Oh,
you need to be able to talk to that person about what's going on with the child that you share.
You missed one part.
I know I got missed out on that one, but I just wanted to make that point.
You missed one part, bro.
What's that?
It's similar to like the Lawrence and Issa type situation, right? It's like, once you get on your shit, they feel like
I'm dropping these insecure spoilers, man. I'm behind.
I'm using. Oh, my bad. It's like, once a man gets on his shit, or once he quote unquote turns into the man that she wanted him to be from the beginning, she starts to feel like she's entitled to that piece of you. So then what? Going off your conversation. So then what do?
Hold on. Ask it again. I'm sorry. Ask it again.
I said. So say, for instance,
I was writing a note. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, you and this chick, y'all had a relationship or whatever. You weren't in your best form at that time, right? But then you level up. You know what I'm saying? You get your shit together, or whatever. You get with another woman, right? Then at the same time, you still trying to be cool with her. She's gonna feel like she's entitled to what you became, because she's gonna feel like she built you up. You know what I'm saying? So in that instance, what do you do?
But why are you trying to still be cool with that person?
Who?
you have no reason to still be cool with her. And then that's what I was saying a couple of episodes ago about investing in somebody.
You contradicting yourself.
Hold on.
I
Before y'all
don't think
continue,
so. I mean,
we're gonna wrap it up real quick before we continue. I think we're missing one important piece. I don't know if I made it clear enough. But platonic friends, y'all started out as great friends. Y'all started out as good friends. Y'all didn't end on bad terms. Y'all just decided to break up and go y'all separate ways, and y'all still want to maintain a relationship. That's what I was really trying to get to. Is there an issue with having that type of platonic friend?
That's what I'm going for the Issa thing, right? Bro.
Okay. Go ahead,
but
bro.
it comes. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say you go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, but I mean, yeah, like you said, you friends with somebody, y'all tried it out, it didn't work. Y'all still want to be friends. Kind of like what Jay Ward said. Yeah, if y'all both single, that's really no issue. You can do whatever you want. That's not going to cause any problems. But once someone is trying to invest in someone else, you have to look back and really say, what is this friendship really supposed to be? Because I think a lot of times we say friend, we understate that word all the time. It's like a friend ain't somebody you catch them in the street, say cool, or you can call every now and then. Like this is somebody like you really want to ride for, you're going to do things for. So if you have another partner in your life or that you're really trying to invest in, how valuable is this friendship really is? Because I think we understate that all day. So I think that's the big issue, is not platonic friends as single. It's more so when you actually start investing in someone else.
Right. That's a fair point. We're gonna Crow, you have to make a quick point before we move on.
Osei was definitely good with that one.
All right. So we're gonna make this one real brief but we're gonna vent on this topic because it gets talked about a lot, and E kind of touched on it. When you level up, you start to want to date on your level, and that's understandable. But recently on Twitter and in an interview, this young lady named B. Simone, young lady named B. Simone, who is now she is on Nick Cannon's Wild and Now. She has this Instagram thing going on, so on and so forth. She is now what is considered an entrepreneur. And she said in the interview, she can no longer date men with 9-to-5s. She is looking for a man that is an entrepreneur because that person will understand her mindset and be able to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, what you doing? Want to go on this trip tomorrow?
That's not what she said. She said, wake up 3 in the morning and answer emails. Like that's a skill.
Same difference. You get what I'm saying? But she said she can't date a 9-to-5. She want to date an entrepreneur. And also, I'm gonna get your thoughts real quick. I'm gonna bring T back in. First of all, what is a man with a 9-to-5? Let's define that, because sometimes they can get lost in translation as well. What is a 9-to-5? We know it.
Right. I would say, I guess a person who work 8 hours a day, but
a regular
the
job.
reason I say that is because people confuse 9-to-5 with something like fast food, but CEOs also have technically a 9-to-5 of companies.
Yeah.
That works for somebody else. Just somebody that works for a company.
Yeah, and I think that don't really dictate your ability. So yeah, somebody who works for a company or works for someone, and they don't own it.
She said the entrepreneur will be able to understand her mindset.
And that's an assumption. You're assuming that someone doing the same thing can understand your mindset, and then you're going to get someone who does the same thing and still doesn't understand what you do and how you do it. Because you can get, like I said, I don't really know what she does, but say you get someone who started a crazy tech startup. He's an entrepreneur. He's going to go in there like, what do you really do? Why do you have to do those things? Why are you spending your time like that? You're both entrepreneurs, but he's looking at what you're doing is nothing.
Yeah.
So I think she's kind of overvaluing her level of entrepreneurship and trying to put that onto others. And you got to really step back, because that's an assumption, and you're really going to find yourself in a bad situation when you go fishing for those type of people, and when you finally get in and realize that ain't it.
Gotcha.
Boy, especially in Atlanta.
I don't even know if we need to say anything else.
Boy, you hit a home run there.
Trying to help y'all niggas out, man.
I really don't know. Does anyone else have anything to add? God, dog.
I just want to say, bro.
It's like
I do.
I'm not.
Hold on, let you go. Go ahead.
My bad.
I'm gonna say now she got her right to want whatever type of nigga she want to. That's her right as an American citizen, as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her being an entrepreneur, even though she sell bullshit. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against nobody making a way the best way they know how, because at the end of the day, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Black people, Jews, we do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really blame her for the message. I blame her following and like the response, because that's the type of bullshit them social media birds kind of feed into and try to paint. That's the narrative that they try to paint. They're like, the average black man with a 9 to 5 is like ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like how y'all said a CEO can have a 9 to 5, but it's plenty of CEOs that work overtime. But the CEOs be up at 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning getting their day started. You know what I'm saying? Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk owns 3 different companies. This man sleep 4 hours a day. Just think about it. How many entrepreneurs doing that? He runs 3. He runs a solar company. He runs Tesla. He got SpaceX. He got the Boring Company. He got like 5 or 6 different companies that he runs himself. You know what I'm saying? But in the same instance, he still has a quote unquote 9 to 5 because he's employed by these companies.
Man, listen.
So like, I think that narrative is just stupid though. But go ahead.
Let's do this. Oh, go ahead, T. No, go ahead, T.
I'm just saying, man, you gotta think about it, man. One, some women are attracted to the wrong type of people, then get mad in the end when that person burns them. So she's saying that she can't be with a 9 to 5 guy. Okay, cool. That 9 to 5 guy could be the perfect dude for her, could be the #1 cheerleader, could really be helping her business. He probably come on her team and help her build her coming to a whole nother level. But you know, some people just want what they want and are ignorant to the fact. And then when they get burned in the end, they want to play the victim. So let's be honest about that. But 2, I will say this. When I was in my entertainment stage and my rapping stage, it was hard for me to have a girl that did not understand that lifestyle. I will be honest with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing shows, I was state to state, I was here, I was there. And even my girl now, she ain't really like me when I was on that, you know, entertainment, rapping, you know, just around like that. She didn't really understand it. Like, why you gotta go here? Why you gotta go there? But if I was with somebody else that kind of came from that cloth, they would know, like, okay, this is part of the game. So she did have a point there. But my thing is,
but she still work for Nick Cannon.
What God got for you is for you, man. You know what I'm saying? It could be a 9 to 5, it could be regular. It don't really matter in the end. You just got to be open to receive it. That's the problem. People don't want to receive it because it come in a package that they not used to. You know what I'm saying?
But that's kind of like her statement, kind of like an oxymoron, because she
Shut up, you already went.
that shit. I just thought about this shit. Like, that shit.
You already went.
Why you talking about you want an entrepreneur? You still work for somebody. Like, that shit stupid as fuck.
Go ahead, J Ward.
Listen,
Hey, put that on the t-shirt.
Okay, so when she said an entrepreneur, what I heard was she wants someone that's rich, and that's just how I took it. She wants someone who has money. That's why she's so after the baby, because of his amount of money. But I also think that meant that she has standards. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, a lot of guys were being slandered because of their standards when they said that they didn't want a woman that was the same size of a certain person. So women are applauding. A lot of women are applauding her for her stance on this, but when men have standards, they get slandered for that, and I don't think that's right. Men get killed for being, having their own standards as well. Maybe she's trying to say, I'm trying to help her out. Maybe she's trying to say she doesn't want to be unequally yoked with someone, so she doesn't want someone that makes less than her. That's just the only thing I can say that maybe helps her out. She just doesn't want someone that has less money than she does. But basketball players and entertainers, they do it all the time. They get with women who don't make anything compared to what they make, and then people salute these women for pulling these ballers. Like, people salute Sierra for bagging Russell Wilson. And it's like, she doesn't make what he makes at all. So I think that, you have to look at it from both sides. Now, it's like women don't want a brother that makes less than them, but they encourage women to go after these athletes and entertainers that make way more than they do. Also, I just want to point this out. Isn't this kind of similar to what the lawyer dude from Southern was saying? Like, he is the bag. My standards are higher now because I have accomplished a certain level of success. So she's kind of saying, hey, I'm the bag, I'm the prize. So I've accomplished a certain level. So I need this type of person. He kind of was saying the same thing. Their delivery was both kind of off on how they said it, but I get what they're saying. And just briefly to hit on what T's saying, it is hard to be in the entertainment industry or any industry when you are with someone that doesn't understand that industry. Because sometimes as an actor, I perform and stuff for free, and it's time consuming. But if there was $100,000 check attached to it, it'd be like, okay, go ahead. But when it's free and you're trying to build your brand, you have to go and do certain things. People don't really understand that. So a lot of times when you're in the entertainment industry or any industry that requires a lot of work outside of normal hours, you don't really get that support from the significant other. A lot of times it's just like being Greek. If you're with someone that's not Greek and they don't understand going to chapter meetings and things like that, then a lot of times you clash with that person because they're not Greek. So when you have someone that isn't in the entertainment industry or isn't in the same industry that you're in, they don't really understand your hustle and the amount of hours that it takes to be successful in that particular thing. But I do think her and the lawyer guy were saying kind of the same things. Like, I'm in a different tax bracket, so I need a different type of person to come at me because of the tax bracket that I'm in.
I'm a Roosevelt. I see your comment.
Before we close out this one, I'm gonna bring this comment back up. I don't think she made the statement to bash a man who works a 9 to 5, but a man who does work a 9 to 5 can very well understand her and support her. Somebody else made the comment about her obituary style book.
That book, that scrapbook.
Right. So if you got a man that works a 9 to 5 that's working in, writing books or publishing books, he could help you and support you in what you are trying to do, and probably could have got it written and stapled a whole lot better, because I heard it fell apart in the live video when she was trying to promote it.
She put that shit together like a fifth grade. That shit crazy.
Go
ahead.
Wow. But it's old though. It's
like, that's her preference, man. Like, we can't that's how she feel. I just feel like 9 to 5 men ain't checking for her anyway. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like, it's levels to being a 9 to 5 man. It's not. I'm not downing the 9 to 5s that work in restaurants and all that. I think that's what she was referring to. Mm-hmm. But she feel like, and for one thing, if she up at 3 a.m. sending emails, she wasting her time. She's not using her time effectively. But it's like,
Rob said she up at 3 a.m. putting 3 staples in each of those books.
She ain't doing that right, because they fell apart. But she sold them joints though. She got over it, but she sold them. She sold them joints for $30. $35,
I think. But Atlanta is the scamming capital. Atlanta's the scamming capital of the United States.
That's the thing. It's a lot of interest. It's a lot of people that are quote unquote entrepreneurs in Atlanta, and they are not in the black when it comes to the profit margin. They are in the red. But hey, that's what she want. That's what she want. I can't knock it.
Gotcha. Crow, did you want to wrap up before we go to the next topic?
They bought her art project. That's just sad.
Then she stole somebody else's book. That's the crazy part. No, that's straight Atlanta still.
No, she took a whole page off of Google. This is what Twitter is saying. Took a whole page off of Google and put it in the book.
It is. It's scamming.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I got a Latonia woman.
Whoa, hold on now, boy. Don't talk about Latonia, boy.
Y'all. Osei said 3 a.m. Osei said 3 a.m. uploading videos to OnlyFans is hard work.
If she got an OnlyFans, I feel bad.
I do want to hit no shit, but that's not. But moving on to the last topic. So we talked about racism. We talked about bringing back into the relationship. We talked about being platonic friends with your ex. One thing I don't think we've touched on yet is that successful relationship that you find. You find that person that you know is right for you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 men on live right now who are either married or about to be married. Hold on. Now, yeah.
Wait. Huh?
No, I won't say
Corey, J Ward, and E. You about to get me? Just move the whole sink, nigga. Anyway,
I
Who
did
getting
what?
married? Who about to get married?
No,
Me,
I
T,
want to.
J Ward already
and
married.
E.
CJB, you about to get married?
My relationship just flourished, and I ain't about to get married though. But
Okay, whatever. Anyway, but gentlemen,
y'all ain't about to pressure me. No sir. No sir.
muted. Anyway, marrying your soulmate. How do you know this person is your soulmate? What does that look like, marrying your soulmate? Marrying that person that you know, y'all ignorant, that you know is right for you. This is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Like that's a big commitment. Getting down on one knee and proposing to someone to spend the rest of their life with you.
It is a big commitment, but I know as far as let me clear one thing up before I get in. I think people think that you only have one soulmate. I don't think that's true. I think you have multiple soulmates. You just got to find the one at whichever point in your life where you're ready to make that commitment. But as far as me, I knew early on. And I knew to the point where I had my soulmate. I'm a very frugal guy. So when I bought that engagement ring, I knew that was it. And I saw the price tag. I'm like, I spent that without even second guessing. That's how I knew I was with my soulmate. So it was like, I feel like Denise is everything I prayed for, everything I asked for. So I feel like I hit it. It took a while, but I hit it.
I gotta
But
take
it's
it.
like I think
Y'all need to toast
I
to
think
this.
that's
I
very
know it's love.
I shed
It's
thug
love, my
tear,
boy.
man. It's thug tear, bro.
Hey,
we gonna wait
It's
till
love, my boy.
Toast my
we
boy.
gonna celebrate in November, man. But it's very important that before you make that commitment that person is your soulmate. And I remember asking Fred, I ain't gonna mention him, but he got married, and I asked him how did he know. He said, "You just know." That was the best thing he ever told me, and I didn't understand it at the time. So it's like you really just know. It's like some just come over you where that's what you got. So it's best to hold on to that. And you want to spend the rest of your life with that. So it's like you got to take necessary steps to move forward.
Cause your
So
ass.
it's very, but at the same time though, you're like he said, he ain't ready to go down that road. So I encourage all men, just in particular, if you're not ready to get married, do not get married, because getting married is like another step in another step. It's a serious step. That's not a step that you can just walk away from, pack your shit up and leave. So it's like before you make that financial commitment, you need to make sure that you're ready. If you're not, ain't nothing wrong with saying I'm not ready. So, but you have to understand you're not ready. You have to let that woman go who probably is ready.
That's on her
And
body.
I think that's it. Say what?
That's on her body. But like, I don't get no pressure about this shit. But like at the same time, ain't nobody outside, inside, none of that shit finna pressure me. Everybody else can kiss my ass. Family, non-family,
Listen, E.
fuck that.
If you ain't ready, bro,
I
don't
ain't
do
doing
it. But
shit.
But like I said,
That's
if
my
you feel
motherfucking.
like if she want that, and you ain't gonna give it to her, you gotta let her go. That's for anybody. You
Oh,
not don't let nobody guilt
that's
you
what I'm saying.
into it. I agree
That's
with
a
that.
down the line thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not like I
exactly.
don't.
You don't do it till you ready. Like
Yeah.
for real. You don't make no step like that because it's a serious step. Like the motherfucking engagement ring is a fucking step. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga,
Mhm.
that shit was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, how much it cost? But it's like once you do that, man, it's like you just have to be sure that's what you want. Don't let nobody guilt you into it. Don't let nobody force you into it. If you don't want that, you don't have to do it because it's gonna lead to a lot of pain and heartache and anger down the line.
So what you're saying is you knew when you knew it, then nobody had to tell you nothing, and You just
Then nobody had to tell me, but at the same time, it's like you want to bounce thoughts off people you're close to. Because you know, like people you cool with can tell you something you probably don't see. So it's like it's important to just not that you're seeking approval, just getting a reality check.
gotcha. And also, don't drop too many comments because I'm bringing you in a second.
I don't think like the way I look at it, bro. Is like shit. I don't need nobody's opinion, whether it's family, hers or not. Like you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's me and her that's in a relationship. You feel me? So again, it's me and her and nobody else outside. Like they opinions, they decisions, that shit don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like even if my family didn't like her, they do. But like I'm just saying, like even if they didn't, like I don't give a fuck because like at the end of the day, it's me dating them, not it's me dating. This is who.
That's
This is
another
my choice.
topic. That's a real topic.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's my choice. You feel me?
All right.
So
So
like,
what?
like you ain't gotta like them, like long as you respect them. You feel me?
So
Go ahead.
That's how I look at it.
what
Go ahead,
about what about movies like The Photograph? I don't know if y'all saw that. You know what I'm saying?
that was a dope movie.
Yeah, movies like The Photograph where
That was Easter, wasn't it?
yeah,
Her
boy, like
and Lakeith.
yeah. What about when you don't marry the soulmate? You know what I'm saying? And well, not the soulmate, but that one. You know what I'm saying? Then what? What you go from there? What's the deal? What y'all think about that?
What y'all still fucking or what?
That's why I said I don't think you have one. Like
I'm
that's
gonna
just
talk
my
about that when
personal
I go.
opinion.
I'm gonna
I
talk
don't
about
think
that when
you
I go.
have one. I think you have multiple. It's just it's too many people on this world to only be compatible with one person.
I can
So it's like that's not logical.
Go ahead, Crow.
Like, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
I see Crow back there thinking he ready.
I'm gonna let Jay Ward go because I know he gonna come with that foolishness.
I mean, you know, I just want to say, I'm damn near married. I'm damn near married. I can't really say nothing about this topic, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
It's over with. I'm out the game, bro. I'm out. It's over with.
So that's your soulmate.
Yeah, y'all look for the invitation, niggas. Over with. I'm out. It's over.
Pop the bottle, baby, is on.
I ain't got nothing to say about it, bro.
You must date a Gemini.
Y'all shut up. Go ahead, Jay Ward.
So let me say this. To address E from earlier, soul ties are real. It's a spiritual thing. When you have sex with someone, you are swapping a soulless tie, and that has a hold on you. I'll get back to that later. What I think a soulmate is a person that makes life and love easy. With that person, you're going to have one of those fairy tale type relationships. But I believe that we make choices in life that lead us away from meeting that person at the time that we were supposed to meet them at. So if you wouldn't have been doing blah 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 in 2010, you would have met your soulmate in 2011. But because you made those choices, or she made those choices, or whatever, y'all didn't meet each other until the right time. So I do believe that there is a person out there that will make love an easy, just enjoyable, seem like everything meshes well type relationship. But I do believe that we make different choices in life that lead us away from that. So sometimes you might be with the right person, but at the wrong time. So a person may have been your soulmate, but you met him in 2009 and you was on some bullshit in 2009. So you didn't realize that that person was your soulmate, and you may have already encountered your soulmate. And to speak on what T was saying, it's not impossible to find love with someone that's not your soulmate. You can marry someone that's not your soulmate and have a very productive, long marriage, but it's going to be harder. And I think that's why people say that love is hard and love is hard work. That's because you're forcing something that's not natural, but it still can work. You can make it work. It's just going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more hard work. Our ancestors, other cultures and things like that, they married people based off of getting ahead in life and not necessarily love. They married based off of, oh, this person has the biggest endowment and things like that, and they grew to love that person and they grew to get along. A lot of our grandmothers and things like that, like my grandmother, she just passed away last month, was 95 years old. If my grandfather was alive, he would be 105, so he was 10 years older than her. So a lot of times they marry people based off of what's the best fit for our family and what do you bring to the table. So a lot of times in other cultures, they don't even marry based off love anyway, or soulmates. They marry based off
Those
of,
arranged
you know,
marriages,
what's going to benefit me the most financially. Think about this, huh?
arranged marriages.
Arranged marriages and things like that, and they do work
Count.
sometimes. It just depends on. But like Corey was saying, I want to touch on what Corey was saying. He was saying, you know, you let that person go when you know you're not ready. That's the hardest thing to do, is to let somebody go that you know will make a great wife, but you aren't ready to be a husband yet. That's the hardest thing to do, is to let that person go. So that's usually how we cause the toxicity in women, because we won't let them go at times when we should let them go, because we aren't ready to let them go, because we don't want to lose them down the road. I'm serious. I'm being
Oh,
very serious.
he telling the truth.
That's why I wanted to wait.
I'm being serious. So
He telling the truth.
that's why we pull the Hail Mary, like Corey described it. Corey described it as a Hail Mary, and say, oh shit, she walking out the door. Will you marry me? Because it's like, this all I got left. I fucked up so much. This is the only thing that I have left. So we throw that Hail Mary out there and like, look, I'm trying to lock you down. I know I'm still fucking up in these streets and all that, because a lot of women, or at least a lot of men, feel like that woman won't be able to understand that I still got some shit I need to get together as a man. So I don't want to lose this woman. So now I gotta jump into this marriage, or jump into this. A lot of people, a whole lot of people do that.
Okay,
A
so
lot of people do that, because
hold
it's
on,
like,
everyone.
I don't want to miss out on this good woman.
Everyone, hold on. Go to the comments real quick, but I will say I will agree with Jay. What I have a lot of female friends, and they will say that they've experienced trying to walk out on someone, and they try to use marriage as their last result to keep them in the door. I do agree with that.
Now,
Different, bro.
Let me go to the comments real quick. Miss Marie, we all need a circle of trust. It's not opinion. It's just having that solid foundation. Queen, blue and white wedding popping. That's right. We are turning Atlanta out in November. We turning up. Rob Wall, right person, wrong time is real. And I absolutely agree with that. I might experience it myself now that I think about it. Next. Yeah, now,
Bruh, I had a joke. It was right
nah,
here.
It was almost
right here.
I'm like, nah.
chill out. This not the time for it. Put in the group chat.
I remember this was live. My bad.
Put in the group chat. NECA, I used to believe in soul ties until I realized there is no mention of that in the Bible. Where those come from? I get emotional attachments, but I'm missing the biblical aspect.
all right.
Hold on. Let me get one more comment in. Pat Mack, why wouldn't you be ready to be a husband if she is the right one?
All right.
That's a good question.
Because you still want to play the field. You're not mature enough to not play the field.
Hold on, Crowdy and
Or you
Osei.
don't have your shit together. Absolutely.
All right. Soulmate. Soul. That's talking about the spirit. Mate. That's pair. That's a two. You got to break down the word on some real shit. You got to break it down. So if your spirit is not right within yourself, and you're trying to go search for somebody else whose spirit is not right, or if their spirit is right and your spirit is not wrong, y'all not gonna be a great pair together, G. So that's where that soulmate word come from, because soul is dealing with the spirit. Mate is the pair. So you coming together to make a soulmate, to combine together as a pair for one. So I see you twisting your mouth up, E. But
I'm sorry. I'm
gonna bring you in, T.
I'm sorry.
But the thing about it is, you have to be on a level with somebody spiritually, whether it's on a financial, mental level. That spirit has to connect, G. Are you not gonna have that moment? That's why when Jay Ward was like a dude running to somebody, a dude making that last resort to drop on that knee or what have you, it's because his spirit knows something is wrong. And if it's foolish on her spirit to say yes, if she know that he is fucking up already. That's just being real about it. You trying to say that's caused toxic women? No, that's holding her accountable for saying yes to that foolishness, and she know he not ready yet. Let's be real on it, G. You trying to give all these fucking passes, and a lot of people not holding themselves accountable. People not taking their spirit accountable. People not holding themselves right, being right within themselves, and then want to bring people in and say, hey, this is my soulmate. We're going to make a pair together. Your spirit not right, G. They spirit not right. So it's all about making sure your spirit is right, and then you can go from there.
Got you.
Wow.
Osei.
Yo, so check this out,
You're
man.
making the camera too, T. Go ahead, Osei.
I don't even really rock with the term soulmate, to be honest. Like, I think it's a term we throw out there and it sounds cool. It's like the romantic shit that everybody like to do. But at the end of the day, we get with people we're compatible with and that we want to work through with. Like the soulmate is kind of like Jay Ward even said it in specific terms and quotes the fairy tale thing. It's this fairy tale concept that we look like, oh, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna want this person, I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna know, boom, this person I just ran into the street's gonna be the person. It's not really like that because a lot of us, we have this, our human aspects where we have infatuation, we have lust, we have all these different things that we look at and categorize certain things. So I think like you're never really gonna have, you have a lot of people you're compatible with that you're going to work with. I don't think you have a true soulmate. You have a person that you make your soulmate when you get into that marriage arrangement before God and you guys then become equal. I don't think you just walk around and things like I'm looking for my soulmate. I think that's just this big, very optimistic thing where people are looking for people that they're not willing to really put the work in. And there's a lot of fool's gold when it comes to that. So I'm not so I look at the topic as marrying someone that you feel is the right person. And when you think the right person, now you're looking at all these different factors and things that you're looking at that you need and that they need, and it works together.
So
But
that's
marrying your
satisfying
soulmate almost makes it seem like it's no work. It's just somebody that. You say what, Crowley?
That's satisfying your spirit at the end of the day, making that connection. Because if you not on that level with them, on that spirit wise, you're not gonna have that connection. G, y'all missing the whole point. That's
but then that connection, even if you good with your spirit and that stuff going, you have that connection. There's still a shitload of things that have to line up and work for it to go anywhere, or is it going to be
right?
Yeah.
All right. So the spirit allows you to communicate, allows you to be able to be open with that person. That's that whole point in that spirit, to be open with that person. G, if you being closed off, that means you hiding something. That means
you can be very open with somebody to turn to be your best friend. Y'all ain't meant to be together. So that's so that when I look at the soulmate thing, I'm like, I kind of believe in the soul tie concept, not specifically as people do it, but I think like you definitely leave a piece of yourself with someone when you do it. So I feel like if you believe in the soul tie concept and you smashed a lot of people, then if you got this soul tie, you got a hell of a lot of soulmates, right? In some type of fashion. Like it's all this whole wording when I look at it, soul tie, soulmate. None of that stuff really makes sense unless you put it all together. Like, so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I think you can have soul tie. I don't think it's specifically soul tie. It's literally you just gave something to someone and they can walk away and say they had a party. That's all that really is. And that you always gonna have a connection because you gave to someone that you didn't give to everybody else. The soulmate piece, yo, I'm not really buying that, fam. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's a cool little word to throw out. It sounds good at the end when you do your thing. But when I think soulmate, I think these are two people married and they gave themselves up before whatever their maker is or their thing. But in the early times, just finding soulmate, nah, that ain't it, boss.
Got you. Crow got that look. Crow, I'm gonna switch out for Jay Ward because he said he got something to say real quick. Hold on 1 second. But I'm gonna let T go first.
Point, OC.
That was T. Talk. You good?
I mean, soulmate. I believe in soulmate, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you meet people at certain times in your life or whatever, but I do believe that it is one person that kind of takes your mind or takes your heart or whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, y'all don't really, I see a lot of the bro don't really agree with the soulmate thing, and they talking about all these multiple people and all that. I mean, of course, we done had multiple relationships, we done had multiple women, we done did all that, but it's a such thing as either the one that you married or the one that got away or whatever. Like, that's real, bro. And I know we being all PC and y'all got to say what y'all got to say, and y'all acting like Jay Ward right now. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe
What does that mean?
E is acting like Jay Ward. Osei acting like Jay Ward. CJB is
How am I acting like Jay Ward?
CJB is acting like himself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, y'all know that soulmates are real, bro. Y'all know that it's one.
I said they real. They real. Like I believe in them. I just don't believe you just had one.
Yeah, I mean, bro.
You know, when have I ever followed the crowd, bro? Just ask yourself that.
Nah, you right. I believe. I agree with you.
It's just my personal opinion. I don't believe in this shit, bro.
Facts
I
are facts.
believe there's somebody for everybody. That's just what I think. Can
Right.
there somebody be multiple people? Of course.
So if it's somebody for everybody, then that's not the soulmate.
But listen to what I'm saying. There can still be multiple people. That don't mean that's your soulmate, bro. It's just who you have a better connection with. That's who you get along with better, bro.
Yeah.
That's just who you
I mean, maybe
what's the difference? What's the difference between a soulmate and somebody you compatible with?
Maybe God put that person in your life for reason, bro.
Somebody you compatible with is somebody you marry as a business relationship. Like you know that y'all don't truly rock with each other like that. Y'all don't enjoy each other's company, but this person is financially stable. They're able to do certain things in life. They're able to lead you to a good life. So a lot of people marry.
And you know you guys will do well together.
Financially stable. Yeah. But your soulmate is somebody you can be yourself around at all times.
Let's go to Jay Ward.
I don't even think that.
Let me say this.
Yourself around somebody that's
let me say this.
Go ahead, Jay Ward.
A soulless tie and a soulmate aren't the same things. We're not saying that. After you have sex with someone, you have a soulless tie to them. I don't know if you guys can speak to this, but
if soul ties exist,
okay, let me tell you this. If I'm in a room, listen to me. Listen to me. If I'm in a room and somebody that I've had sex with walks into that same room, I can feel their energy before I see them. I know that they're in the room because I have a soulless tie to that person. Like I can sense a person. It's not spicy sense. It's a soulless tie.
I had to meet Jay Ward.
No, that Jay Ward is actually making sense, bro.
No. I had to
meet making sense, man.
You hell no. Bro, let's be real. Let's be honest.
If you in the room, hold on.
Everybody be quiet. So you mean to tell me you feel the presence of everyone you had sex with when you see them or they walk in the room?
Yeah, if they walk in the room, bro, you know the
presence of the Lord is here.
Absolutely.
I feel it in the
atmosphere. Right, bro. You know
I hate
Jay Ward, man. I hate that man. He right.
So what? Like they walk in and the lights flicker off or something? Like
so somebody you had sex with from 10 years ago can walk in the room. You'll know they're there.
You remember every person you had sex with?
No, I don't.
Exactly. So how can that shit exist?
Cause if they walk in the room, you gonna remember.
How you remember if you never?
If they walk in the room,
let's be real, man. Let's be real.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Go ahead, Jay Ward.
Listen to me.
Go ahead, Jay Ward.
Listen to me. You may not know that that's that exact person, but your energy shifts when that person walks into the room. You may not know exactly what it is, and you can't put your finger on, but then you look around and you say, "Oh shit, that's such and such. She's in the room." You can feel that. I promise you, it's a real thing. Like you can feel their energy when that person comes around.
I don't agree with that.
That's real. That's real.
That is real. I can walk in that joint and walk out like you wasn't even in there, bro.
Right. You've been to parties.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to tell him right now. You've been to
that's
parties
because you wore a condom
and didn't know they was there. Right or wrong. You've been to parties. You've been to parties with people you had sex with and didn't know they was there. Shut the fuck up.
Because you wore a condom.
That shit is a lie. That shit is a lie, bro.
So you talking about
I can't allow you to keep lying.
They at the front door.
I can't.
You in the back of the club. Your back turned and you just know they walked in.
Get your boy the fuck out of here, man.
I may not know it's that particular person. I may not know it's that particular person. I may not know it's that particular person, but I can feel that the energy in the room change. So y'all don't believe in energy and how
rappers.
And y'all don't believe in people vibrating on certain.
Okay.
We got
This
Okay,
nigga want to get
hold
X-Men so
on.
bad, bro.
Be quiet, E.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Be quiet, E. Be quiet, E. Final thoughts. We about to move to final thoughts. God damn, I got tears in my eyes.
That boy
Y'all
said he
boys
can feel the presence.
Oh,
That boy.
okay. Wrap up. Okay, final thoughts and everything tonight.
Yo, man, look.
Woo!
Final thoughts, man. Let me see. Yo, just yo, you got baggage, man. Hey, if you got baggage, yo, just leave people alone, man. Be by yourself. Go up, pick up a hobby or something, man. Go watch some movies, read some books, but don't put that on nobody, man. That's it.
That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to add to that, man.
All right,
bro.
T. Final thoughts.
Man, final thoughts is Jay Ward was right, bro. Hey, when she walk, if you peep a sense of her in the corner over there, you gonna know, like, hey, I smashed that. You gonna feel it. You gonna feel it, man. But okay, side of point, baggage. You know what I'm saying? Y'all chicks gotta quit being Erica Badu. You know what I'm saying? Blaming us for what your daddy did to you, what your mama did to you, what your brother did to you. We gotta get past this baggage thing.
Man.
If the relationship is worth if the relationship is worth it, then that means that you can work through the baggage. You can work through the baggage. But sometimes that bag get too heavy, so you need to check yourself first and then worry about everybody else. You know, as far as y'all talked about being friends with your ex, I don't know nothing about that. I don't do it. I never done it. I just don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And I don't remember the other topic, but I'm gonna just racism. Like I said, bro, it's real when you talk about that racism, man, especially in corporate. I'm going through it right now. I'm gonna pass it on to CJB.
I missed the racism topic, but I feel like Jay Ward gave a great spiel on that. It's crazy how racism has impacted us to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to come out of that, but it's like we have to, make slow progress. As far as being friends with your ex, like T said, I ain't with all that. We're gonna leave that to insecure in them. And as far as marrying your soulmate, like I said, I believe you have multiple soulmates. I don't believe you have one person that you are compatible with to marry. And also, if you're not ready for marriage, do not get married. It's only going to be expensive to divorce, and it's going to lead to a lot of problems down the line. And two, the whole soul type thing, and I don't believe in that. Like I can walk in a room and be unaware of somebody else's presence and walk back out. So, but that's just me.
Go ahead, Crow.
What's so funny, man?
Go ahead, Crow.
Man, Jay Ward practiced witchcraft.
I can't even. Hey, I can't.
Crow, wrap up, Crow. Come on.
I'm trying to. I'm in tears. The boy said, "Oh shit." Okay. All right. Let me get right. All right. Racism. Damn. Racism. Definitely. It's systematic. On all levels. We definitely need to, like we said, teach wealth on to our kids. We need to look into investing into businesses and trying to create our own. That way we won't have to fight into their system. The baggage thing. Everybody check themselves. Accountability, like Corey said. Because I got tears in my eyes. What else? The beef hormone stuff. This is on your preference. On who you like and who you want. and soulmates. It's about the spirits connecting on all levels, or at least some levels. I won't say all because nobody is perfect. And you go from there. Be able to communicate. You know, that's the whole point in that. And then what I've been in tears on. My man talked about he can feel somebody when they walk in the room. Um, the sixth sense that you have there, my brother. Don't get me wrong, I believe in soul ties myself, but I cannot feel when these women walk in the room, G. Now, I might feel some way when I see them because we had that intimate moment or we shared that connection, but player, I can't feel none when they walk in that room. I don't even know they're in that room unless I see them. So we definitely don't connect on that level.
All
I'm
right, go ahead.
moving on that one. Man, I'm in tears.
Go
Jeez.
ahead. Ward.
Man.
So back to racism. I think that like Crow was saying, like I was hitting on earlier, we have to educate our youth on how to create wealth. And you know, one of the main ways that a lot of people create wealth is through passing down of land and property, insurance policies. That's why so many. It seems like a lot of us have to use GoFundMe and things like that to bury our loved ones. We need to make sure that we have policies for our loved ones, and we need to make sure that we're educating our youth on how to be free with credit. You know, how to make good credit decisions, how to not get into debt, and things like that. Those are things that we need to start teaching our children. If the schools are not going to teach them, we need to teach them at a young age. Um, you know, like everything else, like I said, was just, you know, I pretty much said what I had to say on those things. And with the soul ties, I seriously do believe in that. You know, whenever you exchange energy with someone, you are swapping something that's more than just a sexual thing. That's why so many, especially women that are in tuning with their bodies, they don't like to just have sex with a lot of people because they know it's more than just a physical thing. It's not just a sexual thing. It's more things happening than just that when you have sex with that particular person. So be cautious about that. And then I think one of the most profound things that we really talked about was just understanding that if you're not ready to get married, like Corey was saying, then don't, you know, take your time, and then you may lose out on that person, which goes back to that soulmate thing. I think we do meet our soulmates. We just may meet them at a different time where it may not be the most convenient to be with that person. You may not meet your soulmate until you're both 50 years old, but then you live the rest of your lives together. And it's just you made choices that led you away from your particular soulmate. But I do think it is possible to be happy with someone that's not your direct soulmate or your direct match. So I just wanted to say that, and you can feel, you may not know exactly what it is, but you know, the spiritual ties are definitely a real thing when it comes to, you know, people and their energy and what frequencies they vibrate on. Like that's real stuff. It's serious. It's very real talk.
All right, go ahead. E.
First off, fuck J Ward, that astrological shit he talking about. That soul tie shit ain't real, bro. That shit dead in the water.
You don't
In the
think the
back
coronavirus
in the
is
body
real either,
To
but it's
bag.
wrap
taking
up,
out people out.
J. Ward. Let's talk.
Anyway, I missed the racism talk, but my spot next, man. For those that are protesting, bro, keep fighting. I'm gonna keep donating to these pro bono lawyers. You know what I'm saying, to help bail y'all out. Y'all go, if y'all in Kansas City, go fuck with the homie Natasha Scruggs. I think she working pro bono from what I saw on Twitter, I believe. Man, y'all keep fighting a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep donating what I can to the pro bono lawyers to get y'all up out of jail. You know what I'm saying? As far as B Simone, she a bird. Fuck that. Straight up. Stop following social media influencers. What else we had talked about? As far as getting married, I'll get there when I get there. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a serious step.
Boy, we'll see
But
you in 2021 jumping the broom, boy. Push that.
I mean, y'all to get the invite when y'all get the invite. That's the way I see it. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
Can I be in your
Y'all just
wedding?
ain't finna be rushed into it.
Okay, so y'all be quiet. Let me go and wrap it up so we can get off this live.
Damn, I gotta grab now. I can't close out.
Are you done? All right, go ahead. I know you're done now.
See this light skin oppression. as far as baggage, man, it really comes down to accountability, man. Seek help, get a therapist, bro. Whether they black or white, you know what I'm saying? I had a white therapist. You know what I'm saying? Go see therapy, man. Get professional help, man. You know what I'm saying? It's programs. If you feel like you ain't got the insurance for it, it's programs that'll actually pay for it, so you can go for free. And that shit Jay Ward talking about Casper the Friendly Ghost, all that shit. When somebody walk in the room, that shit don't exist. That nigga making this shit up. He from Shreveport. He practice voodoo and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this nigga talking about.
I feel attacked.
All right.
He be lying.
Okay, moving on. I'm gonna wrap it up. Racism's impact. I think that we first need to try to understand how racism impacts our community, not just the overt nigger calling racism, but how decisions are made on every level that impact our daily lives. Understanding that so we can try to make the change, start making those changes. Just protesting the police officers isn't enough. We need to attack systemic racism and try to make those changes on every level. Voting isn't enough. We need to really get into these jobs, get in these communities, get in these industries, get in these organizations that really impact our community.
More black politicians.
Black politicians, definitely. On every level, state, local, especially on local level. Local.
Legit black politicians. Legit, not just black politicians.
We're talking about it. We're talking about it all the time. We definitely, because we have a black politician in one of the Carolinas who is horrible. I think his name is Tim Scott. Bringing baggage into the relationship. I think we touched on it. Therapy. If you have issues that need to be worked out, go to someone that is professional that can help you. Period. Can you be platonic friends with your ex? I'm gonna say yes. Fuck y'all. I believe you can. Period. Moving on.
You single?
Hold on. Say well now. There's nothing wrong with having preferences. Nothing wrong with wanting what you want in a partner. Just make sure that it's not for the wrong reasons. Like you want someone that you think can understand. You know, make sure that you are dating for the right reasons. And marrying your soulmate, soul ties. If you have vagina, if you have a pussy that you can feel when you walk in the room, please DM me right now. DM me right. Listen, if your sex is so good that I can feel you when you walk in the room, I need your name right now, please.
I don't want it if I can.
But seriously, like my boy Corey said, I know he's real frugal, but the point is, make sure that you are marrying the person that you feel you can spend the rest of your life. Because divorce and everything that comes with it is expensive. It's a headache. Especially if you have kids, child support. Like there are a lot of issues that come with marrying someone that you are not compatible with, someone you do not spend the rest of your life with. It can be dangerous and it can set you back. Now, I've seen this time and time again, not just brothers, period, but it's all across from different spectrums. It can be an issue that can set you back. And I want to leave it at that. But once again, if you do have sex and vagina that you can feel when you walk in the room, DM me right now.
Wait. I got one question. Jay Ward, what is pussy that like alerts you when it walks in the room? What does that feel like?
He muted. Because we not even going down this road. We not. But I want to thank
anyone that you had a serious connection with, not just.
We are done for tonight. Swift. And Jay Ward are muted.
Hold on, Swift. For the record, this is the first time I actually agree with Jay Ward, man. This is the first time, man, and the only time I will.
Jay Ward gave some good points, but as far as feeling elevated when somebody you miss with walk in the room, nah, bro.
that right there is the statement. That is the statement.
Nah, bro.
So, like for real.
Message me right now.
Y'all be safe out there. Let's fight the good fight, my people. Everybody be safe out there. Much love. Y'all tune in next week. Let us know what y'all thought. You know what I'm saying? Y'all comment. We're going to get back to y'all.
Hey, please share the page, comment on the page, like the page. Thank y'all for watching, man. Real time.
Y'all have a great evening. Because COVID-19 is real. Even though it's not in the media, people are still getting sick. So make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Definitely, people. Love y'all. Much love. Y'all be safe.
mask up, strap up.